Senator Marco Rubio has been speaking out against extremist protest groups like Antifa, saying that they want this country to fall apart. One America's John Hines caught up with Senator Rubio on the Hill.
I want to get your thoughts on Antifa and whether or not they may be making some of the protests a little more violent than they otherwise would be.
Yeah, look, here's the bottom line, because I don't want to get into the semantics argument. These are loosely associated groups with all kinds of weird ideologies that span a spectrum that's not an orthodox one. But here's the bottom line, okay? If you are hijacking these protests to kill people, to attack people, to burn things, and to loot buildings, you're a radical and you need to be stopped. And I believe these protests are justified. I believe these protests are necessary, because this time we have to deal with it. We can't continue to let this linger and haunt our country. This is a reality that must be confronted. But by the same token, I think we can all agree that even as that is true, we can't have people being shot, people being killed, buildings being burned, cities being turned into anarchy by a handful of people that are there for reasons unrelated to the protest that are hijacking it. So that has to be addressed. And I don't know, I can't tell you these guys walk around with a membership card in their pocket. I can just tell you that they have the markings, both in how they behave and how they dress and the tactics they're using of the groups that we've seen protest for years at global gatherings and even here domestically. And so I think at the end of the day, when we unpack this thing, you're going to find that there's dozens of all kinds of wild ideologies involved in this, but they share one thing in common. They want anarchy, and they want to hurt the country.
Would terrorism be designated as terrorist?
Well, I mean, that's a legalistic term. I think you could consider their tactics terroristic, but if they're doing it, if they're U.S. persons and they're doing it on U.S. soil, then they would be considered criminals, and they would be prosecuted under criminal statutes. Obviously, you can target organizations as organized criminal organizations, and I think in the years to come, in the months to come, we're going to see a lot of people implicated in that are behind some of this. It's tough, though. These are loosely organized groups that sometimes don't even know each other's identity.
Would RICO apply? I mean, they used, I think, the RICO against like the Gambino family, so potentially.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. But there's certainly laws on our books to go after people that set fires and loot buildings and kill and harm innocent people, and are doing so under cover of a protest that they could care less about the protest. They just see an opportunity to further their agenda and whatever crazy agenda it is they have.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.